Last year about this time, you had the bye week coming up, and after that, you completely ran the table. Was there anything about that last year that was just kind of a switch for you guys that's maybe comparable to this year that you feel like you're ready to go in and just do the same thing in the second half of the season?
Yeah, last year I think we were kind of just getting comfortable in the defense. It was our first year in the system. This bye week gave us a chance, to go back and review and look at some things to get our bodies fresh. So hopefully that'll be beneficial to us down this last stretch of the season.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Ben. So you guys have been so good this year overall. You've allowed more than 20 points just a couple of times, but the Raiders got you for some big plays back in week 5. I'm just curious, when you go back and look at the tape, what happened in that game that allowed them to do that, and how can you guys correct that in this game?
Yeah, we got to limit the big plays. That's definitely, a focus for us, and that's kind of one of the I guess, cornerstones of our defense, limit those big plays. We've reviewed the film, try to correct it. Just comes down to execution. Everybody, doing our jobs, being in the right fit, up front, and then also, being in the right coverage on the back end. So, we're looking to make strides from, game 1 to game 2 against them.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Ben. Mac's question actually leads me to mine. When you watch the film of that game against the Raiders, what most angers you in terms of what the assignments were that you understood and just what didn't work out?
Yeah, I think it really is just the big plays. I think it was maybe the second quarter there. There was just a stretch of, I don't know the exact plays, like maybe 11 or so plays where they, were really able to hit some explosives on us. And if you take those away, we played a decently clean game, but, obviously every play counts, and, that shows on the scoreboard. So just playing a full game this time, not having a little gap of, however much time in that second quarter where, we gave up plays, just being consistent throughout and, just executing throughout the game and being sound.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Ben, you contribute a lot on defense, and you're also one of the core special teams contributors. How do you go about every week preparing yourself mentally, knowing that you've got multiple assignments that you have to take care of?
Yeah, just staying in tune, getting extra meeting time with Coach House when I can, because there's guys like Hitch, he'll get, extra meeting time during those special teams meetings. So just coming in early, watching extra film, getting in my notebook at night outside of the complex, and then just staying in tune with Coach Tobe. So, however I can help this team, that's what I want to do. So just staying on top of everything.
Go next to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead,
Nick. Ben, for you guys, what's going to be the key to starting fast, setting the tempo, and still maintaining that tempo on Sunday?
Yeah, in their first 15, they're going to come out probably, and give us a lot of, shifts, motions, all that stuff. Just being able to, line up properly, communicate, execute. And, they have a physical run game, so we have to be physical up front, stop the run, and just come out fast. So that's our mindset.
I think I might have cut you off, Nate Taylor. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Thanks. Ben, I also wanted to ask you about Tershawn Wharton. You're a guy that came through the league undrafted. Now you're seeing what Tershawn's doing on the defense. Just what has most impressed you, knowing that he took a similar path as you did a couple years ago?
Yeah, for sure. Turk's played really well for us this year. And his path was even a little bit different than mine because he came from a Division II school, if I'm right on that. So just jumping levels there in terms of competition and all that. But yeah, he's been playing well, and it's being undrafted, especially this year without the preseason. It's a tough path, and you got to bring it every day, and that's what he's done. And he's really helped our football team this year. So
looks like we got a couple more hands up. We'll go Pete and then Seren. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Ben, your time with Kansas City dates back to the scheme shift to Steve Spagnuolo and his crew. What does Matt House bring to the table as far as scheme and what you guys and your development and so on and so forth?
Yeah, Coach House has been great. With him, I think, just the details are, very honed in on in terms of, footwork, start, block destruction, in the pass game, looking up routes, hunting routes, and just being aggressive. So I think everybody in the room, has improved fundamentally with him. So that's been great.
Let's go last to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
A couple quick ones for you, Ben. First of all, since Andy Reid's been here, the Chiefs have dominated the AFC West. The Raiders getting that first one, and they look like they're maybe getting some momentum and building something out there. How important is it, or how much do you guys talk about, making sure that no one's even close to you, that you continue to dominate the AFC West beyond just the obvious, the divisional standings and getting a playoff spot, but just the mindset that this division knows everything always goes through Kansas City? And I have a follow-up too, Brad, when we get done.
Yeah, division games, we always say, that those are just twice as important, in terms of the standings. And also, you're playing those teams twice. You see them, year in and year out. So, try to take the same approach to every game, just preparing and being ready to go. But, this game's definitely important, and there's no hiding from that.
And then follow up, the league is going into, and I forget what the terminology is, everybody's going into the high level protocol, right, for the virus. I'm just curious, how much is that? You guys have had a lot of success in isolating when you do have a positive and not having it become a major deal. How big a change is that? Have you guys always been at that highest ready level, or is this going to be an even bigger change and going to be another adjustment here in season when this kicks in this next week?
Yeah, this year really has just been constantly, being on your toes, being ready to evolve, kind of go with the flow in terms of, all that stuff. Rick and those guys, they do a great job, making sure everybody's following the protocols and, staying distance when we can, and, when we're close together, staying protected and covered up. So, like you said, we've had, minimal things come up, and we've been able to, keep guys healthy and in the complex for the most part. So that's huge. And, going back to the beginning of this year, the team that's going to, stay the healthiest, have the most guys being able to play, that's going to benefit them down the stretch, week in and week out. So definitely being healthy is a huge focus.